This air was powered by adrenaline that whole morning. Now I'm mostly powered by extra strength Advil.
Before we head upstairs, I'm going to read through something we haven't actually read through yet. Oh, even sent us a message. Oh my god, I heard what happened. You weren't going to mention being a superhero when I text yesterday. I'm so glad you're safe. Thanks, buddy. I have memories. We haven't read through any of them yet, so we're going to read through Gabe's. Gabe Crack, Chapter 1. He'd been in town for a week and all his free time went to finding Dad. It was useless, of course. Dad had disappeared from here years before, moved on to some new town, some new job. Gabe called country clerk, followed up on as a rumour, and just for a second it must have seemed like he'd finally cracked the case. Our records do show that a Mr. John Chen was briefly a resident of Haven Springs, Colorado, but then such a shitty feeling realising that you've exhausted all your options, that there's no more gas in the tank. At first, all you can do, lose your shit, try to put your foot through the wall, scream at the stairs and hope to cause an avalanche, but eventually, when you're all out of anger, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and just ask yourself who you'll be after all of this, and Gabe didn't have an answer. Not yet. Gabe, rent check. Gabe, God, it's weird to hear him like this. Since the moment we reconnected, he's been so light, so full, but he was empty when he got here. You can hear it in his voice. Chasing Dad across the country was all he had, all he was. Pretty sure he slept in the park the first night he was here. And Jed, who never met a stray he didn't want to adopt, couldn't help himself. He took Gabe in, gave him a place to sleep in, just until he got his feet back under him, just until he picked up the trail and moved on. Did he hope that Gabe would stay? Did he intuit through the hollow-eyed street kid wariness and the I-don't-take handout posturing that Gabe needed someplace new to call home, if he was ever going to feel like a human being again? Is that what he intuited about me too? Gabe Gummies, Chapter 2. He knew obviously, staring at the ceiling, remembering Juvie, remembering Mom, me, us, Dad. I don't think he even knew what he would do if he ever found Dad. The crusade justified itself, offered him a sense of purpose, something to distract him from the gnawing, hollow notion that he didn't know how to exist in the world the way the other people did. I think this was the first time he had a real conversation with Charlotte. I think he remembered it for a long time afterward. She looked at him with genuine concern in her eyes, tried to identify what was broken and find a way to fix it. And all at once it struck him that maybe he was fixable, that maybe someday he could be like her, like Jed, like all the people in this town who rely on each other and lift each other up. He wanted that, and he felt embarrassed for wanting it. I just want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him, like, of course you can have that, dummy. You're Gabe fucking Chen. This town has been waiting for you. It needs you. But then I remember it doesn't matter who needs him. He's gone. Gabe Dollar, Chapter 3. It was a text. Self, do something normal. A favour for a friend. Watch her kids so she could run some errands. That's the kind of thing you do when you're just another member of a small town community, isn't it? And sure, it wouldn't hurt to earn some points with the cute girl who owned the dispensary. He really liked her. Even then, cute the mental gymnastics he did to convince himself he didn't have the biggest, dorkiest crush in the world on her. But really, this was about being with Dad. Just a dude who works at the bar sometimes, not some sad sack fuck-up drifter obsessing over his secret mission, and for a minute he found that he was good at it. And that scared the shit out of him, because for the first time he could imagine giving up on Dad. It's like standing on top of a tall building and thinking about how easy it would be to jump. You're not scared because you want to. You don't want to. You're scared because of how little effort it would take for you to go from safe to unsafe, how few steps lay between where you are and the insane thing you're imagining. What did it take for my brother to become the person he ended up being? When this is where you start, how you find a way forward. Gabe, Business Card, Chapter 5. After this, CPS became the name we called the Boogeymen. Watch out or CPS will come. Be nice and quiet or you'll get swallowed up by CPS. Don't fight with Dad, Gabe, please. Do you want another CPS visit? It was a swinging pendulum dangling over the pit we're in. Gabe especially was terrified of them. For the usual reasons, who wants to be a ward of the state? And also because despite everything, the idea of losing Dad when we already lost Mum made him feel like he couldn't breathe. I think Gabe always hoped that Dad would come around. He had to, right? Eventually, and if he didn't, if we got piled into a town car or driven away from him forever, what else did Gabe have to hope for? We haven't got orchids, we've only got one. The Black Lantern. In my mind, I can see the rain pattering against her headstone. The stone turns a little darker with each drop. The name engraved there, Anne Lucan. Mother and wife, a little more pronounced. Ryan stared as long at that name during the service that it stopped signifying what it used to signify, just lying scratched into an expensive rock. His mum was more than a name, more than a mother or a wife. His mum was the reason Ryan felt so deeply, the reason he was unafraid to embrace and evangelize every dorky passion that captured his attention. It's hard to reconcile the 19-year-old in this memory with the guy I know. It's hard to believe anyone can start to feel normal again after something like this. I'm still not sure I do believe it. Okay, we got one on Mac. Riley letter. I could do with Mac's furious insecurities banging around in my skull, to be honest. Such an urgent feeling, a rope around his neck pulling him forward, compelling him, urging him to find something other than himself to direct his fury toward. Every morning this guy wakes up with the sinking, inarguable certainty that today will be the day Riley comes to her senses, realises how much better and smarter she is than him, and cut the cord. So it's almost a relief when he finds some external target to project his self-hatred onto. Riley's bartender buddy, the one who's helping her follow her dreams of leaving Haven Springs behind. He tells himself a story, turns Gabe into the villain, and for at least as long as it takes to blow up in his face, he can distract himself from feeling worthless. I wish I didn't relate so fucking hard. Can I actually listen?
But it looks like Mr. John Chen left San Miguel County about 6 months after his arrival.
Yeah, is there like a forwarding address on file?
I'm sorry, sir. That's not information we retain. Thanks again for calling the San Miguel County Clerk's Office. Have a pleasant afternoon.
No. Hey, don't.
Gabe.
Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do for me, Mr. Lucan, but I'm not staying long. And I don't take handouts. Just maybe don't cash that check like right now. Man, these things better do the trick. I'm averaging like 3 hours a night.
Pro tip? Insomnia doesn't usually come from nowhere, and THC is way better at treating it when you're also tackling the underlying cause. Any idea what's keeping you up?
I swung over the top once.
No way. Prove it. I'll give you $1 if you can.
I did! I don't have to prove it. I'm gonna tell my mom you called me a liar.
Do it, dude. I dare you.
Hey, Gabe. I'm Leslie Halloran. I'm from the Oregon State Child Protective Services. We got a call from someone who said there might have been some kind of fight here last night. Is your dad home?
Oh, gosh. You know what? Yeah, that was like, rehearsal. And I'm in this play at school, and my dad, he was, helping me learn my lines.
Must be some play. But if you need anything, my number is on there, okay?
I had an incredible mom, and I decided I wanted to be a ranger. She was the first person I told. She said, "You're exactly what these mountains need." Bye, Mom.
Right, I'm telling you, his story doesn't add up. He wants you.
He's helping me get into college, baby. You know dudes can do nice things without the expectation of getting laid, right?
A high school dropout? A guy who went to fucking juvie? Wants to be your study buddy? What, out of the goodness of his heart?
Oh my God, Mac, we're friends. There is nothing going on between Gabe and me.
Oh, Riley. Okay. It's fucked up how kids select their scapegoats. It doesn't matter how pretty you are, or how smart or how functionally identical you might be to one of the cool kids. All it takes is one thing: a dorky t-shirt worn on the wrong day, a moment of unstudied enthusiasm when detached cynicism is in vague, a clumsy misstep, an utterly innocuous nothing that some little asshole latches onto and turns into your whole identity. Poor Riley. These dudes were so cruel to her that she thought about quitting. No more computer stuff, no more building things, it wasn't worth it. But then, still can't quite wrap my mind around this, Mac showed up, treated her with decency and kindness and respect. Mac Luden, who got suspended once for spitting tobacco on the floor of the cafeteria, which, like, really, Mac, come on, dude. That Mac Luden recognised that Riley was extraordinary, and he went out of his way to make sure she felt that way. But still, man, the chewing tobacco thing, yikes.
What do you want? You want to make fun of me too, like those other jock assholes?
What? No. You made a sick killer robot and won a fucking contest.
First of all, we got third place. And anyway, he's not a robot. Technically, he's... Ugh, God. Way to take the bait, right?
You know what? Fuck those pricks. You rule. And I would really like to see your robot. If you want to show me.
Pike, we haven't found nothing for Pike. Steph, okay, we've got a couple of things for Steph. Button. They met in Seattle, a couple of queer punk rock girls drifting through the scene looking for comrades who wouldn't be spooked by their respective baggage, and they found each other. They called the band Drugstore Makeup. Steph on drums, Izzy on guitar. A lot of noise for a two-woman band. For a while, Izzy thought they were in love. For a while, Steph tried to be. It's weird to think that the things I like most about Steph, her enthusiasm, her ability to have a wild idea and commit to it, her fearlessness, represented such a dead end for Drugstore Makeup, for her and Izzy. I can feel Steph staring across the rooftop of her, wishing that Izzy was what she needed, and I guess my heart breaks for both of them.
You could stay here too. I wouldn't try to stop you.
Yeah, good. I'll be the only trans person in a town with a population of like 4. That sounds like a blast for me. Thanks for not trying to stop me.
I'm sorry, Izzy. It's not you. And it's not the band. I fucking love that shit. But I need to try this. It's just time for something new.
I knew it. I knew this would happen eventually. Fucking... see you around, Steph.
We found nothing on the record traders yet, but we have found Drum Kit. Guy booked the show. He found them on the internet and got obsessed. Sent Steph a message out of the blue. Some stranger who swore there was a scene in Haven Springs, so they came and played an empty room while Gabe was headbanging beyond the bar and sang along to every song. And what's wild is that Steph and Izzy loved the whole thing. There was something kind of special about being united in their shared mortification, cringing together instead of cringe alone. And by the end of the show, it became how hard we can rock when nobody gives a shit. If the best punk rock band in the world plays a show and nobody's around to hear it, do they make a sound?
Woohoo!
Yeah!
Hey, thanks, man.
This show rules.
It's something. Anyway, I'm Izzy. That's Steph. We're Drugstore Makeup from Seattle. We've got, merch. Dude, count me in. I'm dying.
We've got Jed. These are the only ones we got at the moment. We got Jed. There's only one thing on Jed as well. So much happening at once. A fear that blacks out the edges of your vision, turns off parts of your brain so that all you know is the pounding of your own pulse in your ears and the gut deep drive to claw your way out. As soon as Jed saw daylight, that fear urged him forward, wanted him to run for home and leave the mind behind. It resisted it, clamped his jaw, ached, and turned to pull the others out. Fuck, I don't think I've ever been that brave.
I got you. I got you. It's okay. You're okay. Oh, God. Oh, God, we're alive. Is that everybody? I need a head count.
So many more we could have found, I think. I wonder if we can go back and find them all. Ducky. I mean, Ducky is sort of in a tow town. The whole part is like $60, I think. It's mostly an excuse to meet up with his old war buddies every 5 years. The Dago Biscuit Boys. No idea where that name came from. Maybe even they've forgotten. Meetings like the Tontyne has had decades to pass from half serious to mostly ritualistic. It's a structure they've applied to their relationship, a ceremony designed to withstand the pull of time and distance. It's actually kind of sweet, these guys meeting up to pretend they resent each other for staying alive this long.
The 13th quinquennial meeting of the Daegu Biscuit Boys is hereby called to order. I'm sorry to announce that all 6 of us remain upright and above ground.
First point of order. Ducky, if you had to guess, though, about how much longer you fixing to live?
Just long enough to collect, Gordon, and not a minute longer. I'll crawl graveward with your shares clutched in my stiffening fingers. You mark my words.
We got nothing on Charlotte yet. Diane? It's not that Diane was keeping secrets, not really. It's just that, what do you say? How do you communicate the complexity of your sorrow, your grief, your guilt? How do you put into words what it's like to know that your job is to explain away the death of a good man and keep the people who killed him safe? It's fucked up, and I'm sorry she's hurting, but how can she feel so hopelessly sad and still stand for Typhon? Can't imagine the kind of psychic math you need to do to justify that yourself.
I just haven't slept, you know? Every time I close my eyes, my brain pulls up all these thoughts, these regrets. So I just lie there, crying and feeling like a horrible person.
You mentioned regrets. Can you drill down on that? What is it that you regret?
I don't know. I'm not sure of anything right now.
Nothing else. Charlotte, nothing. Her mum. I think I was too young to really understand what she was telling us. I knew that sick people went to the hospital and I didn't want my mum to be sick. That was the extent of it. Damn it. She knew she was dying, even if she told us that everything was okay. She was thinking about how many seconds she had left with us. She needed us to believe things would be okay. She wanted to give that to us. A month, maybe 2, maybe 6 or 7. Where we could just love our mum without ever wondering where she'd gone. Where she'd be gone. She did it for us. But god damn. I wish she hadn't. Maybe if I'd known, I would have soaked more of her up. Kept memories of her safe.
Gabe, Alex, I need you to listen very carefully. We got some scary news today. And I'm going to be spending some time at the hospital.
What? Mom? Are you okay?
Hush now. It's going to be okay. Do you understand me? Things will be different for a little while. But I'm going to be okay.
We've also got... For most of my life, I've known what other people were feeling. Couldn't escape it. Sometimes it felt like I was drowning, flailing to keep my head above water. Sinking anyway. In all that time, the only person whose feelings I really wanted to understand was you, Dad. And then I found you at the bottom of the world, and I finally felt what you were feeling, and what's messed up is your emotions were just so normal. Human. I guess fear, regret, same stuff as everyone else. Same stuff I've been drowning in since I was a kid. Shouldn't take an empath to know that. But I think I needed to feel it before I could let you go. Now the only person whose feelings I still need to understand is me.
Chad! Come back! Chad, you son of a bitch!
Chad, you gotta stop, man.
Chad! Fuck you, Chad! Come back!
It's over, Chad. He's not coming back.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bomber Jackie. I wonder who he would have been if things had been different. June or John. Husband or widower. Dad or whatever it decided to be instead. What if Mum hadn't died? What if they'd never come to the States? What if Gabe and I hadn't come along? Would things be different? Or was there something about him, something impossibly bottomlessly sad that was always going to lead him here? Or someplace like here? He didn't have somebody waiting for him at home. He was right. He had already been plucked up and sent away, isolated from each other, ourselves. He thought a lot about coming back someday, whether he was strong enough, whether he'd be good or doing more harm than good. I don't know. I know it would have been nice to look him in the eyes as an adult and get to decide how I feel about him. It's hard to forgive a ghost.
You ever swing a pick before, Mr.
Chen, John, and but I'm a hard worker, and I learn fast, and I don't mind long hours.
You don't have somebody waiting on you at home?
No, sir.
Well, John, guess you're a hell diver now.
We got Alex is the last one we got on here. Guitar strings. I didn't get it. I wasn't just being a brat. I wasn't acting out for attention. That guitar was fucking sacred to me. The only thing I could do to keep myself from losing it in the dorms every night, especially as I got older and my whole thing with emotions got worse. But they didn't see that. They saw a little psycho glaring daggers making demands. I think that's what they wanted to see. I'd forgotten how difficult the dorms were at night. We all had nightmares, hard to live the sort of life that lands you in an orphanage without going through some pretty nightmarish stuff. But the difference was, I had everyone else. I just needed it to hold my guitar, to press my fingers against the strings, feel the vibration in my belly. That was the only way I could get back to sleep.
I don't understand. Why can't I have my guitar?
We've been over this, Alex. Your guitar stays in the rec room. You can play it during free time.
That's bullshit. I don't need it in the fucking rec room. I need it when I'm stuck in the fucking dorms.
Alex, that's enough. Maybe we'll just take away your guitar privileges entirely, if that's what you prefer.
You can't do that!
Well, that's all the memories so far. We do need to find more. I wonder if we can find more.
I'm ready for some fresh air.
Let's do it. Let's go upstairs. Ethan, when we find more memories, we'll do a video on them all.
Hey, Steph. Alex, wait. Before you say anything, I have to get this out.
Okay.
What you did at the council meeting, it was the bravest thing I've ever seen. And it made me want to be brave too. So, here it goes. I want to be with you. I don't give a shit about playing music or seeing the world. I mean, I do, but only if it's with you. And if you'd rather stay here instead, then...
What?
Fuck it. I want to stay here too.
You ripped your bus ticket.
I can get another one. Or not. It doesn't matter. Point is, I'm in. For whatever you want.
Oh.
You've, given me a lot to think about.
Well, good. That was the idea. You know where to find me. Good luck, Chen.
Thanks, Steph. All right. Just tell me.
What?
My future. What to do? The night of the Spring Fest, Steph made a strong push for leaving with her. Playing on the road, the excitement of the unknown. Of course, that was before all the shit went down. Come on, You're the know-it-all. So tell me.
Actually, I do know what you should do. You should stay in Haven.
Of course. You're right. I've never had a home before. Friends, a job, a place to live. Why would I give that up now?
Then again, maybe leaving would be better.
What?
You're young, you suddenly have a little money, friends. And don't you think it's time to give this music thing a real shot? No, you should definitely leave.
What?
Fuck off. Stop it, Gabe. I don't need the mysterious spirit bullshit right now. I just need my big brother.
I'm sorry.
I know.
But here's something. It's 3 hours from now. A bus pulls away. You're not on it. Life goes on. You get a job working with Steph at the record store. All those years of being a music snob finally pay off. And little by little, time does its thing. The apartment starts to feel less like a museum and more like a home. Thoughts of Jed, of Typhon, even of me, begin to fade into the background. The rooftop is your stage. You perform every week to a small but adoring group of fans. Maybe while you play, you wonder what could have been. Performing for more people in more cities, sharing your music with the world. All. You don't know exactly when it happens, but one day you look around and find that you have transformed this place just as much as it has transformed you. And the most extraordinary thing of all is just how normal it feels. You don't question it, you don't doubt it, or wonder what might have been. It's your life. The life you fought so hard to have. And for the first time in a long time, you just live.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
You really think I'll transform Haven?
Of course, you already have. With your gift, your music, just by being you. But Alex, that doesn't mean you have to stay. You have the potential to do that anywhere you go.
Do what exactly? Become an actual musician?
Live in a van, travel between dingy bars, hawking your SoundCloud, pouring your soul to strangers. Sounds pretty great if you ask me. The truth is, there's no telling what that version of your future might be. The only promise is the adventure. So, what do you think?
I want to say, let's stay. Yeah, I want to stay in Haven. I like the little
I know
town.
what I want.
For a long time, I would sit alone and think that I'm better off all by myself, even if I sink. But you found me, and you helped me see the light, the dim fluorescent flicker in a dark, defeated night. I've had my fair share of losing, and I've hung on by a thread within meaning, and the memories gained friends and wrote some melodies in the darkness. I just couldn't look ahead. I was blinded by my own self-doubt and forgot what I was all about. Move forward and try to let yourself in. It's not a bad thing to be brave. March on a path that you will be. For a long time, I kept my heart closed. Thought it easier to handle it if I was on my own. Nothing comes too easily when joy is dangerous. I've had my fair share of losing, and I've hung on by a thread within meaning, and the memories gained friends and wrote some melodies in the darkness. I just couldn't look ahead. I was blinded by my own self-doubt and forgot what I was all about. Move forward and try to let yourself in. It's not a bad thing to be brave or march on a path that I will pave. I'll move forward and try to let myself in. 'Cause nothing comes too easily when joy is dangerous.